Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Dungeon Master Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video I am going to be taking pretty much a first look into the master set of Dungeons and Dragons. This is from 1985. And this video and the series of videos, the two or three more videos following this, are by request. So I have a subscriber who was looking at a video series that I did probably about 3 years ago, going over the various elements of the BECMI, which is the Basic Expert Companion Master Set, and the Immortals. He was looking for the master set focus, which I had not gotten to yet, and was not on my mind. I wasn't thinking about it, all of these, passing, months or even years, and it just slipped my mind. So, thank you for looking at that back catalog and then, letting me know that I hadn't covered this yet. So, without further ado, I'm going to switch views here because I want to talk a little bit about my common practice. So my common practice is to, when I cover these older materials, I almost always have the originals, right? So here's the physical copies, and you could still get these online, like from eBay, and you can get these in their original, so you don't have to go to drive-through and buy them through Wizards of the Coast if you don't want to give Wizards of the Coast money. And these are still very affordable if you are buying them outside of the box. So if you're just buying the booklets alone, I think your cost will be, now this particular set is 2 booklets, so it will probably run you about $40 or $50 to get both. If you're spending more than that, I'd kind of question it. Although I bought these a couple of years ago, so it might have changed a bit. But I think that if you're getting these less than it would cost you to get a single modern day tabletop RPG, so let's say a $60 price range, you're doing pretty good because you're getting a really great really great game system for that. Now these are expansions from the other Basic, Expert, and Companion. So these particular books, this particular set, is going to take your characters, especially your human characters, from levels 26 through 36. And I will read the little blurb on there for you. Now my other practice is that if there are PDFs available out there, I will grab a hold of the PDFs. Oftentimes you can find them on various archive sites that, that you can just display them, and that's how I'm going to be doing this. So I will be going through this book series in display only, rather than reading directly from the book for you, because I think that that's, just not the ideal way to present, information to you. The only time I do that is if there is no PDF out there. There are some game systems that don't bother doing PDFs, and you can't find their stuff as scans on the internet as well. So again, I prefer to do it this way anyway, to show that I do have the physical, and then to use the PDF just to give you a presentation for it. And again, without further ado, let's jump right to the presentation of this box set. So here we have it. It's 104 pages total in PDF, and I was just going to read this portion of it first, and I will expand this. So, your characters will soon go beyond the 25th level, looking for new challenges and perhaps even new worlds to explore. The D&D Master Set takes the characters from levels 26 to 36, the maximum level for humans. The day-to-day fear of death has faded, as your characters have grown in fighting prowess and magical power. Great plans and greater goals are now possible with little fear of defeat. Personal skill, strategy, and experience are the most important variables in this quest for greatness. And then Frank Mentzer goes into thanking all of the contributors to Dungeons and Dragons, both old and at this time still in 1985, and that includes all of the artists as well. So we go into the introduction of the of Master's Game, and then we have the human character classes and everything, and these are all carryovers from the previous box sets. All right, so all they're doing here is expanding the character classes and race as class as well into higher levels than they were in the previous set. So each of these box sets do have a level range attached to them. Then we'll have new armor and weapons, personal armor and weapons, weapon mastery, weapons descriptions, weapon mastery tables, and special effects. And then it goes to sieges, right? So siege equipment tables, and the siege machine, expanded war machine rules for assaults on fortifications. So you're starting to get elements of, or continuing elements of domain play here. And here they break down what each of the sets carry. So I wanted to go read that off to you as well. So what started in basic set levels 1 through 3 and continued through the expert 4 through 14 and the companion 15 to 25 has finally been brought to a conclusion as the characters reach the ultimate level of might and glory, levels 26 through 36. Now there is an immortal set which he talks about here, set forth on epic quests and challenge the might of the immortals on their journey into legend. So the immortal set was described by Frank himself to be not quite D&D. It's certainly a completely different way to play, and I will, inspired by this video series, and this request, I will dig a little bit deeper into the Immortal set, which I also have the booklet for that as well. So, the ultimate game. So here you're going to start getting into what the real drive is. Games with master level characters require much more thinking on the part of the player and the DMs alike. You will have to call on your skills of diplomacy and problem solving to handle the complex situations you will face while playing the part of your character and developing creative solutions to insurmountable odds. There will still be glorious battles and treasures to win, but now you have the face of the puzzles of the gods. All right, you have to face the puzzles of the gods. So this is really talking about domain play. You are not just a band of adventurers going out and delving into a dungeon. At these level ranges, you are lords or possibly kings, and you're taking on challenges that have potentially global impact, or even impact of the cosmos if you're dealing directly with the machinations of deities, and you're trying to combat them, or it could be against archfiends and other like super powerful creatures out there. So it's a totally different level of gameplay. It's a style of gameplay. It's a level of gameplay, and it does take a lot of planning and and coordination between the players and the dungeon master in order to put these kinds of campaigns together and to have them flow out. I can see as a game master in general looking at putting it together a campaign like this. This is not something that I think you could really manage as a game master to run a campaign that is a weekly campaign. I think that you would probably need a lot more time in between your game sessions for both the players and the dungeon master running this. A lot more time in between sessions in order to do all of that preparation and forethought and everything into it. So let's continue on. So here we have the character classes, and again, the character classes are not going to change in what they do. It's just how much they're able to do it at this point because you have these new level bands. So we have the clerics here, and you can see they virtually, their turn ability virtually destroys everything. And when you get to the bottom, your automatic turn 2d6 hit dice of undead. So for leashes and other specials, you're turning them. Everything else prior to that, you're destroying, automatically destroying, 2d6 or 3d6 or 4d6 hit die of creatures, and that's that's going all the way up to, I mean, just imagine at 25 you can destroy a vampire. All right, up to that's up to 2d6 hit die. So now, obviously, if you're facing just one vampire and you roll, just 2 hit die, you're not going to kill that. You're not going to destroy that vampire. But if you roll on the average like 6, I believe vampires, and I'll double check later, but they're probably 8 hit die. So you need to roll slightly higher than average in order to destroy it instantly. But moving on, we have clerical spells. So we get to 7th level clerical spells are being added into here. And then 8th level. And I don't see an indication as to what some of these are, like if they're brand new. But we have the druid level spells as well. And let's see. So we have druids going up through those level bands. Now we have fighters. And just to give you some ideas on the number of XP required here. So a 26th level fighter is going to have 2,280,000 experience points. All right, they will require an additional 120,000 experience points to get to level 27, and so on and so forth. It looks like it goes in bands of 120,000 going forward. Yes, so it's 120,000 per level from levels 26 through 36. And you have their various saving throws and whatnot. Then we deal with magic users here and the number of spells that magic users get. So the pinnacle highest level of magic user at level 36 will have 9 spells per day for every single level, levels 1 through 9. Now we'll look for, they go through all the spell descriptions here. And now we get to thieves. And you can see the percentages for thieves here for their thieves skill abilities. Now they also carry the same 120,000 per level, going all the way up to the maximum. Now where you see here, like let's look at a level 36. So their open locks is 120%. All right, you can fail on 120%, so this is going to allow you to pick locks that have a very high difficulty percentage negative on them. So you might have a lock that has a minus 25 to the ability to pick lock it, and in this case a 36. At this case, a 36 level thief would still have a 95% chance of picking that lock. So don't let the percentages for these things throw you off, because you can now throw them tougher and tougher challenges that they'll still have a fairly easy time to overcome, but they're nothing that should be automatic for them in these cases. Now we get to the demi-human charts. So you have the dwarf experience 1 through 12, the elf experience 1 through 10, the halfling experience 1 through 8. You can see that all of these demi-human classes are limited through the first 12, 10, or 8 levels here. At 660,000 XP for the dwarf, fighter combat options can be used. For multiple attacks options, 2 attacks are possible, and 3 attacks at 2.2 million XP. All right, so it's not that they don't continue gaining experience points. They just continue, they stop gaining levels beyond a certain point. And then they still gain advantages for getting to those higher XP amounts that are detailed here. Elves, once again, follow pretty much the same thing. Hit points are D8 per level through level 9, modified by Constitution if applicable. Thereafter, it's 3 hit points per level with no Constitution effect. All right, so I'm just reading these various passages here. Demi-human attack ranks, and it goes all the way up through, as you can see, where their rankings go from A through M. The hit roll charts, let me flip this. So here you have magic user and normal man. You have cleric and thief. You have fighter, and then you have demi-human, A through M, which uses this chart down over here, and it shows you where they would fall at those various levels of experience points. So that A would be the equivalent of a 7 through 9 fighter, and the M all the way down here would be the equivalent of a level 25th through 27th level fighter, and you get the combat matrix for them there. Let's flip back here now. So we have new armor and weapons that you're going to have here. You have personal armor and weapons, so you have suits of armor, advantages, suits of armor. Suit armor alone is AC 0. It may be used with a shield for AC -1. It reduces the damage inflicted by most area of effects, including breath weapons. The base damage is reduced by 1 per die of damage, and the wearer gains a +2 bonus to applicable saving throws. The minimum base damage is always at least 1 point per die. For example, a damage from the breath of a red dragon, a small red dragon, 10 hit die, HP 57, is reduced by 1 point per die, so -10 to 47. The fighter in this suit armor may take the usual saving throw, but with a +2 bonus to take half damage of 24. So magical suits can reduce damage even further, and they also increase your saving throw as well. Then there are disadvantages to wearing full suit armor. Basically, it is bulky and expensive. You have horse barding in here as well. Retroactive applications. So we have magic user options. We have retroactive applications. These changes can be added to an ongoing campaign by carefully examining each character. Characters often have a few favorite weapons. Assume that knowledge of these weapons remains, but the knowledge of the proper use of other weapons has faded through lack of use. Review the limits on the number of weapons permitted. Most players will not be inconvenienced by them. All right, so this is a system on becoming different levels of mastery of weapon types, right? So you start with a basic new weapon, then you become skilled, then you become an expert, then you become a master, and then you become a grand master of your weapons. They talk about training times to succeed in those things. These are all in a measurement of weeks. Chance of training success. So 12 weeks to become a master. Cost you 1,000 gold pieces per week. So it costs 12,000 gold pieces to become a grandmaster, and your chance of becoming a grandmaster is just a 20% chance. So pretty high. So you could go through, spend 12,000 gold pieces, spend 12 weeks of time, and you still only have a 20% chance of becoming a grandmaster from the previous of being a grandmaster previously. Let me see if I get this right. Training knowledge. Let me look into this practice here. At first it made sense to me, and now it suddenly did not. Limits for weapon using monsters. Okay. So let's see, 20. The basic skill expert master grand. Trainer's knowledge. Oh, is that the trainer's ability to? Maybe that's a trainer's ability to train you. So if it's a grandmaster trainer, then they have a 20% chance of training you to become a grandmaster. Wow, that's still very, very, very difficult for a grandmaster to train you to grandmaster. Now I got it. Now I figured it out. So let's see what else we have here. We have some new weapons like blackjacks and bolos and torch club. I thought that was always in there. Throwing hammers were always in there. Lances, missile fire devices, nets, and then we go through weapon mastery tables. Now, some of these are complicated. I mean, you're looking at these here. So a blowgun mastery is a basic skill. Gives you some special effects. Bolo is a basic skill or skilled SK. If you're a grandmaster, these are your skills with it. So yeah, you gain some special effects based on your level of mastery. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hand axe. I'm just looking at certain ones. So at Grand Mastery, you're going to do 2d4 plus 7. D6 plus 6. Maybe that's S times D6 plus 6. Defense is -3 to AC. And then the slash. I will have to dig much, much deeper into seeing the bonus to the character's armor class is used only against the number of attacks, number of rounds noted. In most cases, the AC bonus is limited to one target category. All right, so the character would have a -3 to the AC, but only up to the first 3 attacks, is how I read that. And we have all of those weapons charts. Let me flip again. Special effects. So there's a lot here. Then we go into siege equipment, artillery and indirect fire, artillery ammunition. We have catapults, trebuchets, breaching weapons, rams, hoists, bores, belfry, and they show you basically all of these different things. I just watched Forge on Fire where they made one of these rams, or what they call a boar. So that was really, and I watched the Forge on Fire when they had to make ballista. So this is some pretty cool stuff that you can see here. And we get into the siege weapons and their various qualities of siege weapons. Expanded War Machine rules for assaults on fortifications. So here are the rules for using those things. Attacker siege options are to depart, to bombard, to harass, to assault. Defender's siege weapon options. Let's see if they are just broken down the same way. No. The defender may at any time choose to leave the fortress to make an assault. If an avenue of escape exists, they may choose to depart. If they remain within the fortification, the defenders can harass, defend, but may not bombard. A whole lot of details here. Get into special squads. We get like sappers or things like that for siege combat. And then the afterword. We had so much detail to fit into book 2, which has twice the number of pages of this book, that no room remains for my comments. The following notes to the DM are not secret, so players can feel free to continue reading. All right, and so here is the index for all of the player options, and then we will get into the Master's DM book the next time. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that that's kind of what you were looking for. Again, you can find this PDF by just doing D&D Master Set PDF and looking online. You could pull up that very same and take a look at it yourself. Again, I highly recommend that you check out eBay and you look to get these older books. Outside of the boxes, they were a heck of a lot cheaper than in the boxes, and you'll at least have a physical copy. I prefer to have a physical copy at the table even when I'm playing, so that I can check things out. And when I opened this one up, because I hadn't opened up these in quite some time, and I flipped through just looking to see, and all of a sudden this popped out of one of the books, and I got really scared because I was like, I hope somebody didn't cut this out of one of the books I have. And I looked through both books and they're fine. So every once in a while in these older things, you find these little treasures. I don't know what this came from, but on the back it says it has rooms on it, right? So J for the meeting room. This room contains a long table and several chairs. I could probably do like a Google search and just type in various lines of this and see what this image came from. But if you're familiar with this image, then please reach out, in the comments section and say, hey, I know exactly where that came from, and let me know. But otherwise, feel free to leave your comments about the video itself and what you'd like for me to focus on. Next time, I will start going through the Master's DM book and see what new elements it adds to the previous box sets. And as always, thanks for joining. It's Friday, so in preparation, get ready to enjoy your weekend. I hope you get some gaming in there during the weekend. It's also a holiday weekend, so at least here in the United States, if you're not from the United States, then so this is a Veterans Day weekend. So Monday we celebrate Veterans Day. I myself, as a veteran, I extend that out to all of my fellow veterans out there. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. I will be doing a live stream on Monday night, both to celebrate Veterans Day as well as to just share some comments and everything that I have gleaned from these last week and a half or so of gaming content. So I'm not going to get into the politics or anything like that unless you bring it up during the stream. But for the most part, I'm looking to spend Monday talking about gaming. Hopefully, get some veterans to pop in during that live stream as well. And we could talk about veterans in gaming, which is probably going to be the focus that I'm looking to do. And I have several veterans that play in my regular gaming group as well. And so I really enjoy my fellow veterans' company at a gaming table. So without further ado, you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or at a convention table sometime soon. You'll have a great rest of your day.